Dímelo, mi gente, que lo que. Alright, I'm just looking over here to make sure I am recording, and it seems like I am. Alright, cool. So, make a clap. Okay, nah. Alrighty, guys, so welcome to episode 8. So I had to improvise a little bit, so if the quality of this video doesn't look as good as the other 2 videos, it's because, of course, my camera battery was dead when I came to start recording. But it's okay because that's why we got phones, and our phones are always charged. So I am recording on my phone. That's why the quality may seem a little different. But anyways, let's get started on this vlog. So I got on Instagram and I did a question. I put up a question on Instagram and I asked, what should my next podcast topic be? And again, I do apologize if I sound out of breath, but you know, your girl's just getting bigger. Anyways, so a lot of people were hitting me up. I want to thank everybody who actually commented and answered the question, because there was quite a few of you guys. I was like, okay, you guys are engaging. Thank you again for all the support. So thank you for everybody who answered my poll question on Instagram. You can go ahead and follow me at Smacktalkdanii on Instagram in case you are not following me just yet. So a lot of you were asking me to do a stay-at-home mom and the pros and the cons, and to talk about being a stay-at-home mom. So that's the topic for today, stay-at-home moms. All right, so I just wanted to clarify that I'm speaking on behalf of myself. It's my opinions, and I am speaking from the experience and from the view of having a toddler at home that's 2 years old, because stay-at-home moms, we come in different stages. All right, there's some stay-at-home moms with kids between the ages of 5 to 10, between the ages of preteen and teenagers, and I am coming from the view of a mom who has a 2-year-old. Shout out to my baby. Her birthday's coming up next week. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to have a 2-year-old. But soon enough, I'm gonna have a newborn again. So, but yeah. So, let's rewind back. Let me tell you where I'm coming from. So, I was working when I was pregnant with AJ, right? That's my baby's name, AJ. So I was working when I was pregnant with her, and it was all good because I didn't have nothing else to do but go to work, come home, take care of myself. I didn't have anybody else to take care of other than my daughter. And then obviously she was born, and then this whole pandemic thing has started. So my job went from working in person to working virtually, just like most jobs, right? So when I came back from maternity leave, we were still quarantined and we were still working virtually. So I was actually working from home after that 3-month maternity leave period that I took. And I want to say that working from home with a newborn, now looking back at it, wasn't as bad as, now that I think about it, it wasn't as bad as I actually thought it was as I was going through it. But again, I'm still learning the ins and outs of being a whole new mom, being still being present at work. I used to work with clients, so I was on the phone whenever they called me that they needed anything. I had to provide my services to them, right? The challenging part about that is that if I had clients calling in at the time where I had to feed the baby, or she was crying or she was cranky and I had to like calm her down. It was difficult, right? So that was the overwhelming part, just having to be on the phone and like be clocked in on a computer documenting and doing, my daily tasks for work, with a toddler that also needed attention. But I also got in the rhythm of like just knowing her nap times, and that's when I would call people or whatever the case is. And I just learned that it's okay to not answer a phone call right then and there, and to call back whenever I had the time to call back, right? Because that was the beauty of working virtually. You can work at any time you want. Just, let your supervisor, whoever, know, like, hey, you're working between this time and this time. And I found that it was super easy, that if I wake up super early in the morning, I can do all my documentations, and then in between nap times, I would call patients for whatever reason that they needed to be called for, right? So that was pretty much it. And some patients, like obviously I knew some clients' patients, whatever, they knew that I just had a baby. So they would be okay, like, if she's in the background, like making noise, they know that we're working from home. So obviously I knew who to, be okay with talking on the phone while my baby is up, and who not to talk on the phone with. Because again, I was dealing with mental health client base. So I just knew my clients at that point, because I already had been working at my job for a really long time prior to having a baby, and I just knew my clients. So I knew who to do what with, because that's just the rapport, the relationship that I had built with them throughout the years. So I ended up, it took me a little while to get to that stage. I don't know if this is even making sense, but working from home as a new mom with a newborn, it was a little difficult until I got the rhythm down as to like when she would go down, when I needed to do stuff, when I had time to do stuff. And a lot of documenting that I was doing it either late at night after they went to bed, or early in the morning, and just get that out the way. Like whatever phone call, I was just jotting it down really quickly. Boom. And I just got into a nice rhythm with that, right? Then I went back to working like in my location, right? I wasn't working at home anymore. I'm working in person. And I had a friend who volunteered since the baby was born, even before we knew like this pandemic was coming, that she wanted to take care of the baby. So we were like, okay. She was always interested in wanting to open a daycare and everything. So she volunteered that she wanted to take care of my daughter after I had to go back to work or whatever. It took a long while because we didn't know that this whole thing around the world was going to happen. But when the time came, she came in very handy, because I didn't have to enroll my daughter into a daycare. And on top of that, like, we were also looking at the options of daycare, but like doing some research, not only the cost of daycare is ridiculous, but like just thinking of one person taking care of like 5 other kids when your baby is only like less than a year old, that wasn't sitting well with me. So I just definitely took the route of my friend, and obviously we paid her. We came to an agreement, and she took care of my daughter like it was her own kid. So I was very grateful for that. But there was times where, she also has a son, and there was times where my daughter would be sick. And I'm like, damn, I still gotta stay home when my daughter is sick, because if I bring my daughter to her house, her kid is gonna get sick. Or if her kid is sick, then I bring my daughter around, then now my daughter's gonna get sick. Now I gotta stay at home. So that became an issue, right? Then we were still getting quarantined because, people were coming out positive at work and stuff like that. So I got quarantined quite a few times after I went back to working in person. And that wasn't a good thing. Then, like, when we had gotten COVID, now it's like, yo, like, obviously I'm not going to work, and I just have to protect them. My friend that was taking care of my daughter, I had to protect her. Like, it was just so hard, right? It was just like, okay, 1 week I'm not going to work, the next week I am, and 2 weeks later I'm not going to work. And every time my daughter would get sick, it would be like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to take my daughter out. I just want to be home to like comfort her and just make her feel good. And even if she wasn't a daycare, it would be the same thing. It probably would have been even worse, because in daycare, once your kid is sick, you're not coming in. That's it. So I felt like I needed to still have that with my daughter. Like, if she was sick, I'm not gonna take her to my friend to get taken care of, because my friend also has a kid, and having a sick kid is not it. So that became kind of an issue, and it was just like bringing me down, just knowing that I had to get up out of bed, take my kid to school, or they get to school, take my kid to my friend super early in the morning. Sometimes she didn't even want to leave. Sometimes she'll be crying hysterically, like she don't want to go. Like, after spending a whole weekend with me and her daddy, she don't want to be around other people and stuff. Obviously things like that, they get over after a little bit. But it's still like, damn, like, I really got to drop my kid off for someone else to take care of her. Whether that's my friend or not, whether she's having, like, the best care, it's still, as a mom, bothersome. So I just, like, I just didn't know what to do. I just felt stuck. Like, I needed to go to work, obviously, to provide. And it was just hard. It was just hard, right? But once I came out pregnant, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna be at work. Hell no. Hell no. It was a hell no. I had a conversation with Jay, and we just both sat down and we both agreed, like, nah, maybe you should just stay home, write it out at home. The world is still crazy, it's still a lot going on out here. And the last thing I need is to get sick or to catch it, and now I'm down for the count, right? So no, like, I wasn't okay with doing that. And thankfully we were both on the same page, to where I can just, and thankfully we're both like stable enough to where one income is sufficient enough to cover our bills, right? So I took my daughter back, and it's been good. Like, I still wake up early, right? I still do what I have to do, and it's good. Like, it's great. Like, yes, some days I wish I could have some time for myself. Yes, some days I wish I can take a shower without having to wait on Jay to get home so that he could hold the baby, or without having to have her in the shower with me. But it's like, listen, these are little sacrifices that I'm willing to do, because I'd rather be with my daughter than be working somewhere. Now, I get that other people may think otherwise. Like, if you're a mom and you're okay with going to work, and that's totally fine. Like, I know people that rather just be at work because that's their time for them to have a break. Like, and I completely understand that. I'm all for it, for moms to have a break in whatever way they can find that break. But what is the point of me thinking that this is a break, but I'm at work and I'm just thinking about my kid. Is my kid okay? Is she fine? Da 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 da. She comes home with a scratch. Like, how did she get this scratch or whatever? And then I felt like my friend was getting put into a situation, like, if my daughter fell or she hurt herself just being a kid, because shit happens, kids are kids, and she got like a scratch or a bump, I felt like she would feel like bad, because she just didn't know. She didn't want it to be a situation where I'm just looking at her, or that's just how I felt. I don't even know if this is how she felt, but she would like call me up right away. Yo, like, AJ fell and she has like a bump on her head. I don't want you to think that I wasn't just watching her, but she just, out of the blue, how these kids are. Like, it's just overwhelming. Like, when you are watching some other kid and some other kid gets hurt, and now you gotta fucking sit here and explain. Like, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I know my friend didn't want to be in that situation either, but what are you gonna do? like lock the kid down. Like that's not realistic. So it just dawned on me like a lot that I needed to stay home. Like I needed to stay home. I needed to stay home. I needed to stay home. And now that I am home, like the benefits are that I don't have to rush up in the morning to get her ready, get her all bundled up in this negative weather that we've been having recently. Like today I woke up and it was like -8 degrees. Like why? Why the fuck is it that cold? I don't know. But I'm very grateful and thankful that I don't have to be out bundling up my kid in a -8 degree weather so that I can go to work. So that's one of the benefits. And again, just knowing what she's eating every day, knowing how much she's eating, when she has a nap time, like I get to schedule her, giving her her shower. Those are meaningful things. Like if you are a parent, you know that those are meaningful things. And when someone else has to do that for your kid, it's like you feel like shit because like, damn, what am I doing? Like somebody else is parenting my kid. It got to a point where my kid, like she was more comfortable being with my friend because that's all she kind of basically knew for a period of time. And that would make me feel jealous. Like, no, that's not your mom. I'm your mom, baby. Like, I'm your mommy. I'm your mommy. But what can I expect when she's 8 hours? Sometimes even more, because if I had to stay late or if I'm running late or if I had other things to do and I wasn't able to pick her up right away. Like, stuff like that. And nonetheless, rushing home to cook. Like, I cook every day, right? I cook every day. And that was another thing that used to get me tight. Because I have friends to be like, oh, you cook for your man every day. Yes, I fucking cook for my man, me, and my baby every day. The fuck you mean? I cook every day. Why? Because it's inexpensive. If I go grocery shopping every single week, why am I eating out? Why am I buying something to eat when I got food at home? Yes, I'm gonna fucking cook every day. So I cook Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturday, definitely on Sundays. I take a break. I choose between Friday and Saturday when I don't want to cook, right? Mostly I'm cooking. And rushing home after, picking her up, being stuck in traffic to come home to cook, it's like you really don't get no time either way with your kid because you're so stuck on cooking or whatever. And then by the time you settle down, you're all having dinner. You're all having dinner. Now it's time for bed, and then you got to do it all over again. So you really didn't spend that much time with your kid. That's how I saw it, and that was heavy on me. So another good thing about staying at home is that I get to cook without being in a rush. Now I get to cook without being all frustrated because I'm rushing to cook and I need to pay attention to what I'm cooking. Like, now my daughter be in the kitchen with me all happy and stuff and looking at what I'm doing, very interested in what I'm doing. It becomes a bonding moment because I'm not so stressed out from coming home from work or whatever, or for bringing whatever happened at work to my house. You know what I mean? So that's another, I don't know, that's another good thing, right? Let me see what else. It's just good to be home with your kid. You know what's up. You're all the way 24/7 with your kid. Now, the hard part, because I'm not going to say the bad part, because there's no bad part about being a mom. It's just not. This is something that happened. You signed up for it after you realized that you was going to keep it, and that's it, right? So now the hard part. The hard part is, no, you don't get no time alone, especially when your partner is at work. Now this is your full responsibility. And me, when I became a stay-at-home mom, one of the hardest things for me was that I wasn't providing that in a financial way as I once was, right? Yes, I have a business and stuff like that, but it's not the same as, coming to work and like having a whole steady job, like a steady paycheck. The type of job that I have now, the type of work that I have now, like I have to hustle to get my money. And some weeks are good, some weeks are bad, and some weeks nothing is coming in. So I just had to cope with that. I had to be okay with not being able to provide how I was providing. And ever since I moved out of my parents' house, and even after I graduated college, I've always had a job. So I've always had my own money. I never had to ask anybody for anything, right? I never had to ask, like, other than obviously my parents, I never asked anybody for anything. Like, I wasn't okay with asking Jay, like, yo, I need money to get my nails done. I need money to, like, fix myself up. So that was kind of, like, it was hard for me, right? It was just the thought of thinking that I had to ask somebody, or I had to ask a man for some money. Like, I've always told myself I was never going to do that, which is why, again, I do my side thing. Because that gives me enough income to where if I wanted to fix myself up, if I wanted to do my nails, my eyebrows, or whatever, like, I can do those little things without having to ask him. And it's just an ego thing. It's not like, oh, he doesn't give me money or anything like that. Like, he'll pop out of the blue and be like, hey, babe, I just cashed app you, or I just Apple paid you like $50 or whatever, just out of the blue, which I'm very grateful for. It's not what I asked. He just does it if he's able to do it, he does it out of the kind of his heart, because he knows that it's hard for me. Like, that's just an ego thing. I'm not okay with just sitting at home waiting for a man to bring a check. And for a long time, I wasn't okay with staying at home, taking care of the baby, and making sure the house was kept up. Like, I felt like a cleaning lady. Like I felt like this is a place where I had to be, because this is what I signed up for. So that was hard. When I became a full-time stay-at-home mom, it was just those things where I wasn't okay with staying at home and having to keep up the house, staying at home and, having a meal every day, having to cook, just because I saw it in a negative way. I had to be responsible for the baby in every way possible. Like, he didn't have time to watch her. Like, this is my thought process. This is not what actually was happening. But, like, because he's the provider, when he comes home, he can't have baby time. Like, I have to have baby bathed, changed, fed, and everything, because he's the one providing, and he would come home tired and shit. So I had a really hard time when I first became a stay-at-home mom, because it was just an ego thing. Like, I'm like, yo, I don't want to stay home fucking cleaning and cooking. The fuck I look like? No, that's not me. But then I switched up my mind. I switched up my mentality. I had to, because I was going to go crazy. I was going to try to go back to work or try to find another job, and then I would have been doing this cycle of going back to work, being upset that I'm at work and not taking care of my kid, and then being at home and being upset because I'm at home feeling like a housewife and cooking and cleaning like I ain't got no other purpose. So it took a lot of, like, personal development and a lot of rearranging my mindset. Instead of looking at the cup half empty, I had to start looking at it half full. Like, yo, you wanted to be home with your kid so that your kid doesn't get sick as often because you keep taking her out in this crazy ass weather. Or you wanted to be home. You don't want to, like, you just wanted to be there for your kids. So you're going to let you thinking some bullshit that's not even happening, like come in between you and your kid? No, this is what you wanted, so now you have it. So, and then now I just had to come like, yo, this is my motherfucking house. I want my motherfucking house to be clean. I want my house to be nice and tidy and clean, because that's my space. I don't want to be in a cluttered up space because I'm here acting like or thinking that I'm a housewife and I'm less than Jay because I ain't bringing no finances into the house. No, why are you thinking like that? You bringing just as much as he is, you know, in other ways. So I switched up my mentality. Like, I'm not cleaning because I'm the housewife and I'm the maid. I'm cleaning because I want my space to be nice. I want my space to be clean for me and my daughter. And also for Jay, but mostly for me, right? I don't want to be in a dirty ass place. We bought this house. We did a lot. We grind to get this fucking house. Now I'm be stupid and thinking, oh, because I'm a housewife, or thinking that because I'm a housewife, or thinking of myself as low like that. Because I was looking at a housewife. I'm not here to offend anybody if that's what you're considering yourself, but to me, a housewife is something is close to a maid. Like, I'm not no fucking maid. I'm not here to clean up after no guy or anything like that. No. That was the mindset that I was in. So again, like I said, I had to switch it up. You're not cleaning because you have to clean, because Jay got to come home to a clean house because he spent all day working. No, you cleaning because you want to have a clean space. You cleaning because it makes you feel good to be in a nice, clean space. It relaxes you. And it's true. It does relax people. It does relax me when my living room, my whole house is clean, smelling like Lemisol. Right? Right? That's the Lemisol. Or Fabuloso. I don't think I think the Lemisol is the coochie soap, but I gotta look at it again. But I want my house to smell like fucking Fabuloso and Windex and Clorox. Have my toilet paper stocked up nicely. Have my laundry done, full folded and everything. Not have to worry about that. Shout outs to my mama last week. She pulled up and did my laundry. Helped me do my laundry. 6 months worth of laundry. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's on my YouTube channel live. But yeah, like, why are you thinking like that about yourself? So I had to like come and talk to myself and be like, yo, fucking snap out of it. That's not true. That's not reality. Make your house a home. That's you providing as well. So that was the hard part. It was a mental roller coaster when I first became a stay-at-home mom, because I just thought of myself as that, and it's bad that I did. Like, I don't want to look at myself like that. I don't want to look at myself where I feel like I need to ask a man for money because I'm not bringing in no financials, or I'm not bringing as much financials as I once was, you know? It also made me feel bad that I wasn't able to pay the full bills, like half of my load of bills. You know, I had to scale down, start paying the little bills and stuff like that, because we had an agreement, you know. We was 50-50 and everything. It was, I pay my car note, you pay your car note, and we go half and half on the house. We go half and half on the mortgage. I covered Wi-Fi. Everybody took care of their own phone bills. And he covered National Grid. Right? That was our bills. That's how we broke down our bills. Now, it's like, yo, and then we went 50-50 on our car insurance. So now it's like, you know, that had to scale down. I'm not able to pay half of the mortgage, right? I'm not able to do that. I'm not able to pay like my car note. He had to take over all of that stuff, which he was fine with because he was able to do so. You know, we was in a financial place where he was able to do so without it really affecting us. Did we have to scale down on like shopping and stuff like that? Of course we did, because we needed to get these bills handled. But he was okay with that. But I felt like I wasn't okay with that still. Like, I'm just like, yo, like, that's hard for me. That's a hard reality. Like, I can't pay my bills. And some females is like, so what? You got your man paying your bill. Well, that's not the world that I'm used to coming from. I'm used to doing it on my own. Like, used to paying my own car note, used to paying my own thing. Whatever half of my bill was, I was used to paying it. I was used to having that money there. Boom, here you go. Just put in your half and whatever. So we came up with the agreement where he's like, yo, you're really good still at knowing how to pay things on time and when things are due and stuff like that. I'm still gonna send you money so you can stay in charge of that. And that gave me some type of, I don't want to say sanity, but it made me feel comfortable that he's like, yo, I'm still gonna be sending you money so you can take care of the bills. Like, you know when deadlines are due, when everything is done, how many days or whatever it is, you know the cost of everything. Like, you're gonna be in charge of that still. I'm just gonna send you the money. So I felt really good that he looked at me like that, because I'm like, all right, cool. I got some type of value, right? That's just how I felt. Not saying that I don't have any value or I don't see any value in myself, but it's like, it's nice to get that encouragement that he sees me in that light still. Like, no, you handling the finances still. So I was really happy for that. It just made me feel good. I don't know how to explain it, but it just made me feel good. But that's what comes with being a stay-at-home mom. Like, it's not only just about making sure your kid is good, making sure your kid is fed, because at the end of the day, whether I'm at work or not, my kid is gonna be good. I'm gonna make sure my kid is good, well fed, changed, dressed, or whatever. Is more so of the mental that comes with it, like the mental of not being able to help your man financially, or not being able to, provide financially. So I think that's the hardest part. And I'm still learning how to be okay with that. I'm still learning how to be okay with the fact that I'm not bringing as much income into the household. And just learning to be okay with that, because he is okay with being the full provider, the full financial provider. Like, he doesn't have any problems with that. So he's just like, yo, like, you need to distract your mind from thinking that you're less than me because you're not bringing in money, or you're not bringing in as much money as you once was. So I agree with that when it comes to that. So now I just, like, I'm home. I'm still productive, like I said. I make sure that my house is a home, because just because you live somewhere doesn't mean that it's a home. Like, you could feel very uncomfortable. And I'm just that person. Like, that's something I really admire about my mom. She makes her household a home. Like, it feels very welcoming, very cozy, very good to be in her apartment. Sis is still living in the Bronx, right? Because her house is currently getting renovated in Jersey. But anybody and everybody who has gone to my crib in the fucking Bronx doesn't think that they're in the Bronx. And it's not because it looks luxurious, or like, it looks like there's money there, like she spends a lot of money. No, it's because it's something so welcoming about the house. Like, it's just cozy, it's welcoming, it's just the vibe. It's her personality is in that house. And if you know my mom, you know she's a very caring person. So if you go to that apartment, even if she's not there, you're gonna feel that. And that's what she provides. So that's what I started, like, just looking at. Like, I want my home that when you come here to my house, it's cozy, it's comfortable, you know where things are at, you don't have to be uncomfortable. The bathrooms stocked up. You know how when you go to certain people's house, and let's say you go to the bathroom or whatever, or you're sleeping over in somebody's house, you go to the bathroom, you don't know where the fuck the soap is, you don't know where the toothpaste is, you don't know where shit is at. So you rather, instead of asking to not be an inconvenience, you just rather walk out and go back home with your breath stinking, and you didn't even bother taking a shower because you don't want to be bothering nobody. No, I want my house to be cozy, that even if you are a guest at my house, you feel like you have your own space. You're not invading nobody else's space. You don't gotta ask me for shit because the bathroom is stocked up, the toilet paper is stocked up, the toothbrushes, the toothpaste, the soaps, everything is stocked up. And that's something that the women in my family have. Like, you go to their bathroom, everything is displayed there for you to see, right? Everything is displayed there for you to see, for you to utilize, and boom. You don't gotta ask nobody where the fuck the fucking bathroom to wash your ass is at, because it's gonna be right in your face. When it comes to food, you hungry, there's snacks. Now I ain't inviting everybody to eat my shit because it's hard to get food out here, especially with them prices going up. But I got snacks. If you hungry, just know I got you. A quick, easy meal. I could make some tuna fish, crackers. I got cookies. My fridge is stocked up. Anybody that come here ain't gonna be hungry, and they don't gotta be like, my friends ain't scared to come into my kitchen and look at my fridge. That's just not a thing here. But that's welcoming. That's being cozy. Every time I go to my mom's house, I know there's gonna be food there. I know there's gonna be chips and shit, and just like stuff to snack on, and just food to make and cook. Like, that's cozy. That's good. That's like, there's people where you go to their houses and they only got fucking water, and it's probably one bottle of water left, and now you don't want to take it, even though you quenching for thirst. You're thirsty as shit, and you don't want to ask because you see that that's their only water bottle there. So that's not my house. I tried to make that not my house. I want my house to be cozy. You hungry? Here you go. You thirsty? Here you go. We got every service, whether we're sharing it, we're buying it, we're taking from somebody else. Every service. We got HBO. Everything you need is on the television. You might need a couple seconds to know how to maneuver the remote, but everything is there on the TV for you. Be cozy. We got blankets. Get cozy. Our couch is big enough for where you can lay down. We have a formal living room. We have the chill living room. Don't sit your ass in my formal living room, because I'm going to kick your ass out. And that living room gives you that vibe where nobody's welcome there. Ain't nobody welcome there. That's just for show. But we have the chill living room. We have the cozy living room, where the couch is so much more comfy. There's blankets there. You can eat there. It's warm. It has a fireplace. That's what now being a stay-at-home mom makes me want to do. Make sure that my house is cozy enough to where whoever is invited to come over feels welcome. Because that's what my mom provided in our apartment as we were growing up. So that's how I switched up my mind. Now we're thinking about, now our next project is, you guys see that my office is just coming along, right? From the first episode, from episode 6 to episode now, it has came a long way. We're still stocking it up little by little, but now our next project is our baby's bedroom. Our daughters are gonna be sharing a room. Not that they're gonna be utilizing it, it's just for show. That's another room that's just for show. But we wanna obviously make it to where it's good for AJ and good for the new baby. So that's our next project. And on top of that, we're also gonna try to be doing our master bedroom. That's another project. And I call it projects, but it's just stuff that we want to rearrange, stuff we want to add, because we focus these past 6 months on the downstairs. Now we kind of want to make the upstairs a little more cozier. But that's my experience of being a stay-at-home mom. It's not necessarily like taking care of my daughter, because that's what I wanted at the end of the day. I wanted her to know that I'm here. Like I'm here. In the morning, you want to cuddle up with mommy for an extra 10 minutes, you can cuddle up with mommy for an extra 30 minutes if you want, because I don't got nowhere to go. I'm here for you, and I'm going to be here for that other baby too. And just making it, like I said, it's more mental. It's way more mental than it is physical, of course. Way more mental. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking like, oh, you're alone time. You're alone time. You're alone time. You're alone time. Listen, it's okay. I don't need alone time from my kid. And if I do, my alone time is on Saturdays or on Sundays when Jay is home and I can have alone time. And my alone time is usually, I just want that hour to take a shower. Okay? I just need that hour to take a shower. Because the type of showers I want to take is that I want to sit under the hot, scorching water, right? For 30 minutes, space out. I want to exfoliate. I want to shave. I want to be able to have time to put lotion on myself. That's me time. That's what I considered me time. I do my hair in 15 minutes, so I don't even need alone time for that, because she's just staring at me, looking at me like, what are you doing? And I tell her, like, mommy's doing her hair. 15 minutes done, because I got my Dyson or whatever. I know how to do my hair in 15 minutes. That's just it. My alone time is basically my shower time, because I choose for it to be like that. Not because I don't have the time. Because again, that is what's good about having, a supportive partner. A supportive partner that knows when to give it to you. When you can tell him, like, yo, can you just watch her or whatever. And even then, so I try to make it super easy on him. Just because it's good on my mental. Not because it's expected out of me, because at the end of the day, it's 50-50. This is your daughter too. Whatever I do, you do too. But I just try to make it easy on him. That's just my love language. My love language is to try to make things as easy and as simple and as comfortable as possible for everybody else. And I'm fine with that. So when I want to shower and take a bath and do my own thing, I try to make sure that even if he's here, just make sure she's well fed, she's changed. Most of the time I try to make sure that she's sleeping. So I shower, my bath time, my self-care time is usually at night after she falls asleep, because I know that she's not going to be bothering him. He could be relaxed too. He just got to make sure that she's breathing, basically. He also gives me time to, like, if I want to run to the store. I don't run to the store like on the weekdays, because I have her, and like I said, it's super cold and I'm just getting bigger, so it's kind of annoying to get out of the house with a big belly, and my daughter, who's like 50 pounds, she's not 50 pounds, but she's 30 pounds, but she's heavy. She's heavy, and getting her in and out of the car, this weather is ridiculous. That's not the ideal thing to do. So whenever he's home and I need to, like, I want to go and shop or whatever, or I want to go and look at some stuff at a store or whatever, I just wait for him to get home, because it's just convenient for me. It's more easier for me. Let me see what else. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much my stay-at-home mom experience. Like, it's not that bad. I don't think it's as bad as people think. And I also had to get out of my mind where, like, what I thought people thought of me. Like, that doesn't fucking matter. If you're here contemplating on being a stay-at-home mom, but you don't want to be looked at as that stay-at-home mom, or like you don't want to be looked at in a negative light, like you're not providing or anything, people are going to judge you regardless of what you do. If you're working, they're going to judge you like, why are you not home with your kid? And then if you are at work, they're going to be, if you're not at work and you're at home with your kid, you're like, oh, you're not providing, oh, you're living under a man. Nobody's ever gonna be happy with whatever it is that you decide to do. So you just gotta be happy with what it is that you are doing. And if you have people like that around you, you need to really reconsider your circle of friends or who you consider friends, because if nobody's walking in your shoes, what the fuck their opinion matters for? Or why do they have such a negative opinion? That's something I learned, and not even before. I mean, I guess you can say I started having that mentality after I had my daughter. But it's true. Like, why do I care if my friends are sitting here judging me, or the people who I thought were my friends sitting here judging me because I cook every day for my man? And I don't cook every day for my man. I cook every day because that's how I feed us. I'm also eating. It's not like I'm the chef and I'm cooking and I'm watching him eat and I'm not eating shit. No, I'm fucking eating that food too. I'm fucking that shit up, especially now. I'm eating for two. I'm feeding 4 people in my household. So what? And if you cook it for your man, let's say you don't got no kids, that you cook it for your man, you a stay-at-home wife, and you don't have no kids, so what? If y'all both are okay with it, and he's able to provide financially, and you're okay with that, you're mentally okay, because it's a whole mental roller coaster. I'm telling you, it's a whole mental roller coaster. Because society makes it seem like you need to be the strong, independent woman, and if you're living under a man, you're not a strong, independent woman. And it's like, no, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. But then society also tells you, like, oh, if your man ain't paying your bills, like, what is he doing? It's like, yo, you're fucked if you are, you're fucked if you're not. Do what works best for you. So a lot of it is mental. And like, yes, sometimes, your kid is aggravated. Sometimes your kid is gonna act up. Sometimes your kid is gonna be wilding out, doing the most craziest things. You don't know where they learned it from. They just out here wilding the fuck out. But you just gotta, like, suck it up. Take 5 minutes to breathe and correct them. Correct your kid. That's why you're home with them. So you can correct them and tell them, no, that's not okay. That's being a bad girl. You're being a bad boy. And if you gotta, smack them around a little bit, if they're of age, then do so. Okay? If that's a way of your kid learning, it's called discipline. It's not called being a bad parent. Disciplining their ass. That's why you're at home. To discipline your kid if they're acting up. That's why you're at home, to monitor your kid when they're acting up. It gets frustrating, yes. Sometimes you're like, oh, I just need some me time. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I'm desperate for me time. I don't feel like I'm desperate for me time. I do not need no me time from my kid. And most of the time, I'm okay with taking a bath with her. Does she start wilding out and splashing water everywhere and getting crazy? Yes, she does. But I can see that she loves to spend that time with me. She loves to spend that time with me. And whatever time that is. When I'm cooking, she's there right beside me. Like, what's that? What's that? I love that. You want to know what mommy's doing? Mommy's cooking. You want to know how to cook? You want to learn how to cook? I love that. You want to know why? Because when she becomes a teenager and she don't want shit to do with me, then I'm going to be upset because now I want her time. So no, I'm going to take advantage that she wants to be around me, that she loves me, that she's so innocent. She just wants to be around me and she's looking at me as this person, as this superhero. So that's what I love about it. And I'm not trying to talk shit, trying to be like, oh, I love being a mother, blah, 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 blah. No, like, it's not like that. It's just really joyful to me that she wants to be around me. I'll take a nap with her. and she will fall asleep rubbing my belly. Like, she knows, I don't know if she understands, but every time she sees my belly, she rubs it and she's like, baby. Because every time she does that or she sees my belly, I tell her there's a baby in there. And that is what makes it worth it. That's what not needing to be away from her, not needing my alone time desperately, that's what makes it okay. That's what makes me feel good. So it's just little things like that. The fact that she wants to know what I'm cooking, what I'm doing, when I'm cleaning. She wants to like clean too. So I give her like a clean microfiber cloth and she's over here wiping stuff down. Why? Because she's seeing me do that. She's seeing me do that. And that's such a beautiful thing. And I was not this person. Like I said in my 6th podcast, the first podcast I launched after actually coming back, I was not a kid person. So I'm actually shocked that I'm saying that, but it's real. It's real. Seeing your kids doing what you're doing, like the good things that you're doing, it's fulfilling. It's super fulfilling, and I don't know how to explain that to somebody who's not a parent. It's just fulfilling. And like I said, I'm not here to be like, oh, I love being a mom, because I be looking at some moms and I just be like, I don't even know why the fuck you signed up for this shit, because you violent. But it's all different. It's all different things that go into that. It's a mental thing for me more than it is a physical thing. And then now I'm just like, shit, what's gonna happen when I have two? When the other little girl pull up, like, sis, I want some attention too. I want to know how that's gonna be. So I can't wait for that. But that is my rant on being a stay-at-home mom. That's my rant. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna end it here because it's already going off to almost an hour. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for my YouTube people. If you're listening to this podcast on Spotify, thank you so much for your support. Keep on supporting. Don't forget to like and share. And don't forget to follow me on all my platforms. I got Instagram, I got Twitter, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Still waiting on that Apple. All at Smacktalkdanii. If you want to get in touch with me, you're more than welcome to DM me on any of my platforms. Or you can go ahead and email me at smacktalkdanii@gmail.com. I'm looking to providing some more topics for you guys. So if you guys have any topics that you feel like I should discuss, go ahead, hit me up. I'm here for all of it. All right. Thank you for supporting me again. Bye.